Welcome, my friends. And yes, I realize you can't see my face, so this may seem a little weird, but that's okay. You're not missing much anyway. This is, well, first off, I'm Omar Krieg, and this is the Krieg Dominion. Krieg Dominion presents Triple Press exclusive Week 7 doubleheader event. We've got two NPC matches that are going to be played out live right here for you. We've got, first up, we have the Ramoran Opposition hosting the Rock City Wolverines. And a quick little background on these two teams. The Ramoran Opposition, the more experienced team, currently sitting at something like 2 wins and 4 losses, I believe. Literally right off the top of my head. So it might be slightly different, but they are on a losing streak at present. They are the home team, and they will be taking on the no wins and 6 loss Rock City Wolverines. The Rock City Wolverines, of course, being a expansion team that just joined the league in the year 3025. This is their first season, and they are not doing very well whatsoever. In fact, last week, week 6, the Commanders round week, they took on the American Industrialists and came very, very, very close to winning by defeating the Industrialist Commander. But once they defeated the Commander, they forgot that the match still finishes up that round and lost their own Commander, and then lost by virtue of points and points alone when it came time to tally up the score. So, unfortunately, the Rock City Wolverines remain unwinnable or something. I don't know. I wanted to say undefeated, but that's obviously not the right word. They are unwinded, I guess. I don't know. There's a word, I can't think of it. At any rate, tonight we have, first up, Ramoran Opposition taking on the Rock City Wolverines. We've got about 50 points, or a little bit less than that, in difference between the two teams' battle values. We've got 10 tons in favor of the Wolverines. And we've got a nice little setup here. We've got 3 Warhammers taking the field, and all 3 of them are the same variant, the Warhammer 6D. Now, Neil is the team lead, so to speak, for the Ramoran Opposition. He has one advantage, which I believe is Weapon Specialist PPC. I could be wrong. Let me see what it says here. My mouse over thing is not... Oh, there we go. Yep, Weapon Specialist, which will most likely be for the PPC. And then, of course, we've got Noble riding around in the Hunchback 4H. Phoenix Hawk 1, piloted by Senvik, rounding out the opposition team. For the Wolverines, 2 Warhammer 6Ds with Kumar and Man piloting them, followed up by the light Jenner 7F, which of course is my favorite Jenner of the Jenner pack, simply because it's got a little bit more armor than the rest, decent movement profile for a light mech, and 4 medium lasers, so you don't have to worry about ammo, which means, of course, you can run the heat up a little bit. We are playing, of course, on a standard 21 by 21 map, randomly generated prior to the start of the mission, or excuse me, prior to the start of the match. And I am playing as the opposition, which is unfortunate because I wanted to play as the Wolverines, but, well, you know, we don't always get what we want, I suppose. So, since I'm the home team, I will be choosing the south side as always, which will put the Wolverines on the north. I'm going to double check everything one last time to verify everything is set. Take a look at this map. 21 by 21 generated. Victory conditions. 75% battle value destroyed and or 10 rounds completed. Either of those two things take place and the match will end. I forgot. I meant to do this before I got started, but I got sidetracked. I do need to add some experience points and need to do midweek event resolution for these two teams. So let's take care of that really quick. So every pilot and technician gets 1 free experience point for both teams, and then we'll have to do this again later when we do the second half of the doubleheader event. That takes care of the Wolverines. And then the opposition, the same thing. We do have 1 pilot that's injured. Unfortunately, they will not be receiving this free experience point. But they will be back next week, week 8. But that pilot's skills-wise is not in a bad place, so he'll be okay. Missing out a point or two. All right, that's done. Next, we have midweek events. Starting with the opposition, they decided to go with marketing, so I'm going to roll 2d6. Of course, you can't see this because of the way my screen is set up, so I'll have to just take my word for it. Let's see, 2d6 roll for the opposition, no modifiers. Rolling a 9, which will give them, for marketing, plus 2d3 wealth, for a total of 5. So let me go ahead and add that to the opposition's finances tab. I'll give them some money to work with. For the Wolverines, they have opted for training. So we roll there 2d6. No modifiers for them either. For a total of 5, which is unfortunately no results for them. So no extra points in training for the Wolverines this week. Everything else is set, so let's go ahead and kick this off. I am playing against the bot. The bot will be playing for the Wolverines. I am playing the opposition. Let's get into it. All right. Initiative I don't care about in the first phase because this is all just deployment. I will be setting up in the south. Got some interesting terrain here. We've got some dead space because of the elevation changes. We've got some woods throughout. I've got a 2 PPC weapon system and 2 kind of mobile mechs, one more so than the other. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my Warhammer right here. Then I'm going to put Hunchback, Phoenix Hawk here. I see the enemy focusing on the top right side of the map as well. Looks like I've got the initiative advantage all across the board. And other than they're generous, so yeah, they went with a normal player move. We've got the Warhammers right next to each other and the Jenner on its own, trying to be its own little thing. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the Phoenix Hawk up and the Hunchback up and see what I can do about causing as much of a distraction with Warhammers until I can finish off this Jenner with my own Warhammer. I want the I'd really like it if the Wolverines won this one, but I have to play it fair. You know, can't really cheat or anything like that or favor one team over the other. Really? 9 and 11, okay. For the AC-10. And then the Warhammer is just going to shoot the shit out of this Jenner. But I don't want to build up too much heat right away. Alright, so let me grab my pen and my notes. Start recording this damage here. Alright. Jenner misses with all its shots. Wolverine's Warhammer number 3, in this case, misses. Warhammer number 2 for the Wolverines misses with 1 and hits the Phoenix Hawk with the other. I'll take the Phoenix Hawk up to light damage. My Phoenix Hawk hits with its large laser on Warhammer number 3. Which one's which, so I don't get confused. My Hunchback misses, and then my Warhammer, the opposition Warhammer, hits with both on their Jenner. Only the Jenner needs to make a PSR to stay standing, and he does. Moving now into round 2. Initiative still favoring me, but their Jenner is moving last. And my Warhammer is moving second. So we'll have to think about how we reposition for this Jenner that's going to come charging at me. You know what? I think I'm just going to sit him right there and just see what happens. Meanwhile, let's see. Elevation, heights, 1 and 1. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do there. Bring up this guy straight up. Oh, I forgot to look at the battle value difference. Oh well. Alright, so the Jenner has decided to attempt to flank, but that won't save him any, because I can just do that. And my PPC skill is really helpful here to mitigate minimum range stuff, so we're just going to blast that Jenner with our 2 PPCs, and since he's so close and I can wager a little bit of heat, actually no, hold on. Twist so I can hit him. Fire both PPCs and both small lasers, and that will keep my heat just 4 over max. Phoenix Hawk getting in close on the Warhammer. I think we just need to go ahead and focus down the 1. So let's go ahead and hit him with medium laser machine gun. Medium laser machine gun. And then the Hunchback will also follow up with AC-10, its medium lasers. Heat. Alright, what are we looking at here? Warhammer 3 misses. Warhammer 2 hits my Warhammer. Jenner hits the Warhammer as well. Just chipping away at armor. The Warhammer destroys in a single shot the gyro on the Jenner. That's going to cripple the Jenner and probably cause the bot to boost it right out of the map. Phoenix Hawk hits with medium laser and a machine gun, roughly 50% hits. And only 1 of 4 lasers and no AC-10 hit on the Warhammer from the Hunchback. Warhammer remains standing. Ammo takes a point of damage. The pilot of the Jenner as the Jenner falls over. Alright, melee phase now. And you're damn right, I'm kicking a Warhammer in the face. Let's see. Hits the right arm. PSRs are made as needed. Heat is fine. Wolverine Warhammer's getting hot. Jenner's get also hot. We've got Phoenix Hawk, Wolverine Warhammer, Hunchback, Jenner, my Warhammer, and the other Warhammer. In that case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump Phoenix Hawk back to here. Then I'm going to back up Hunchback. Just 1 right there. The Jenner is abandoned. So that is a kill. My Warhammer. Warhammer is now going to move in and seek out more kills. Okay. We're going to focus down. So my 2 medium mechs are going to focus down the Warhammer 3. That's going to put really hot. 16. Yeah, I don't want that. Damn it. I wanted to shoot that. I wanted to hit him with the large laser, but generated a little too much heat. Probably not going to hit with the 12, but since that's machine guns, might as well fire those. Alright, let's see what we have on this round. Warhammer 2 hitting the Hunchback. I have the Hunchback? Nope, that's the first time Hunchback has taken damage. Alright. Warhammer 3 also firing on the Hunchback. Phoenix Hawk hits. Not as much as I wanted it to, but, well, both lasers hit. Machine guns missed, but that's basically it was expected. Warhammer is continuing to take fire from the Hunchback, and then Warhammer 2 taking damage from my Warhammer. There's a critical hit in there, but it gets re-rolled with edge, and my Hunchback falls over. The pilot is okay. Heat is a little warmer than I would like for me, but I can manage it. And it looks like Warhammer 3 is the last one to move. No. Yeah, we're going to do that. Move. Need a 4 to stand up. All right. Let's get a little. Hmm. All right. Looks like we're gonna gang up on Warhammer number 2. All right. Let's see. Uh-oh. I see some red in here. All right. Warhammer 2 firing on my Warhammer. Nothing big. Warhammer 3 firing on the Phoenix Hawk, getting the rear arc, and destroys the left arm of the Phoenix Hawk. That's going to bump the Phoenix Hawk up to heavy damage now. Let's see. Hunchback hitting with the AC-10. And the Warhammer, my opposition's Warhammer hitting Warhammer number 2, taking out critical slots on the Warhammer number 2. That's going to bump it up to heavy damage. And then the Phoenix Hawk firing and hitting with almost everything. Nothing big. Moving now into melee phase. 2 mechs kicking on this Warhammer. 1 kick hits through. 2nd kick hits through. And, oh, so all 3 kicks were kicked. And the Warhammer has to make 2 PSRs because it was kicked twice. All right, heat is up 8 and 6 for the Warhammer. Moving now into round 5. Looking at 89 to 66 favoring the opposition, and looking like the Wolverines are just not capable of catching a break. Let's see. Warhammer 3 is moving last again for the 2nd round in a row. Ooh, excuse me. 2nd round in a row. There. Oh, no, no, no. That's a Swamp Hex. That is a hidden Swamp Hex. Okay, yeah. Time to annihilate this guy. Oh, I don't want to do all. It's a little hot. 2, 4. All right, we managed to pull off almost an alpha strike with the Warhammer. Phoenix Hawk getting those. Oh, that's right. I lost a whole right arm. Son of a bitch. Let's see. 8 is 11. Takes up to 4. We're fine. All right, and then. All right. We've got a lot of fire being poured into that one Warhammer. Number 2 firing at my Hunchback and hitting with a medium and a small, missing with the PPC. Warhammer 3 firing on my Warhammer with both PPCs that both hit just armor damage at this point. My Warhammer now hitting with the PPC, the 2 medium lasers, both small lasers miss. Phoenix Hawk firing with that large laser, hitting the center torso rear. Warhammer number 2 is now taking internal damage. That's going to bump it up to moderate damage level. Oh, it's already at heavy. Why is that one at heavy? Oh, because it was losing critical slots. Never mind. That's why. All right. And then Hunchback hitting the AC-10. Re-rolling a critical hit. No edge remaining on Warhammer number 2. Warhammer takes internal damage. Warhammer number 2 falls over. Pilot is okay. Moving into the melee phase, that's 2 mechs going to be kicking this guy without a response. Left arm blown off of that Warhammer number 2. Warhammer's in a bad shape. Let's see. Warhammer 3, my Warhammer, Warhammer 2, then the 2 lighter guys, Phoenix Hawk and Hunchback. Um, did he? Oh, I don't even remember. Son of a gun! I literally just read this and I can't remember the initiative order. Warhammer 3 has already moved. Okay, we will do this then. Warhammer 2 is withdrawing. That, I gotta figure out who got the last kick in on that. I think it was the Hunchback. So I think the Hunchback is gonna get the kill on a technicality. Yep. The Hunchback was the last one to render damage to Warhammer number 2. Hunchback is piloted by Noble. So I guess now that means everybody's going to be beating up on Warhammer 3. Alright, Warhammer 3 is now going to be taking a bunch of damage, I think. Let's see, my Warhammer eats a bunch of shit. My Warhammer hits with everything. Hunchback hits. Warhammer 3 taking internal damage. Now up to moderate. Warhammer 3 now taking heavy damage, losing a critical slot. And the Phoenix Hawk gets some stuff. Warhammer makes his PSR and remains standing. Melee phase. Hunchback eats a kick, but the Hunchback and the Phoenix Hawk both land their kicks. All PSRs are made for all the pilots that need to make them. 84 to 46 battle value favoring the opposition. And I should have paid a little bit more attention to the initiative order. Warhammer 3 is second to last, followed by the Phoenix Hawk. I think my Warhammer is just going to sit tight. And Warhammer number 2 is already withdrawing. Never mind. Same thing with the Hunchback. That is a really weird angle to attempt to reposition to Warhammer number 3. That's okay. I will take advantage of the bot doing dumb things. Alright, let's see what we got. Warhammer did manage to twist and put some fire onto my Warhammer. A head hit, but it gets re-rolled. My head hit, or excuse me, my Warhammer taking heavy damage now because it just lost a PPC. Let's see. My Warhammer, however, does hit and destroy an arm. And then the Hunchback follows up, misses, rolls a 2 when all they needed was a 3 with the AC-10. But the lasers hit, all 4 of them, it looks like. And then the Phoenix Hawk following up with a large, medium, and a machine gun. The machine gun misses. All pilots are still standing. No melee phase because my Phoenix Hawk can't do anything with only one arm that it used to fire. 75 to 37 in favor of the opposition. My Hunchback moves first. Then their Wolverine, or excuse me, I keep saying Wolverine. Then their Warhammer, followed by my Max. Hunchback. I'm not even gonna turn. I'm just gonna turn him in place. Okay. Right. Warhammer number 2. That's the one that already gave up. He has fled. see. Okay, what are you looking at here? Hunchback taking internal structure damage. Bumps him up to moderate. Hunchback rips out some guts on that right torso, taking out a heatsink and a laser. And then the medium laser hits the engine and the gyro. That Warhammer is now crippled. Another engine hit on that Warhammer. And then finally my Warhammer gets in and hits with a bunch of stuff. Right torso outright destroyed. Left torso blown off. 3 hits on the engine. Last one doing damage is the opposition Warhammer. So they will get the kill. Yep, that mech is crippled and defeated. And that looks like the match in favor of the opposition. So, now we got to do some paperwork stuff. Starting with victory point tallies. Opposition get 3 just for winning the Mega Mech match. Wolverines get 1. Add up the kills here. Should be about 10 points, I believe. But let's double check this. Jenner is 1 point. 2 Warhammers are 3 points apiece. That is a total of 10 to 1 is the final score favoring the Ramoran Opposition. Let's do some fan rolls. I gotta get my rules open here. Bear with me. Fans are on page 12. You'd think I'd remember that by now. All right, starting with the opposition. They get +1 for winning. They get +1 for... Nope, no streaks. No mechs were outright destroyed. And I believe no mechs were kicked as a kill. So, just +1. So 2d6 +1. Again, you can't see this because of the way my screen is set up. But they rolled a 3, which with a +1 is a total of 4. The opposition actually loses a fan. That is some bullshit. They do gain a fan for winning the match, so that will be canceled out with just +0 fans. That is rude. The opposition lost a fan on a match that they won, but that's the way it shakes out there. All right, speaking of the way things shake out, let's see what the Wolverines have. 2d6 roll. Unfortunately, they have a -1 for losing and a -1 for now 7 losses. That is -3, -4 total. No other modifiers. 2d6 -4. 5 -4 -1. Excuse me. 5 -4 is 1, which would cause them to lose 5 fans, but they only have 1 fan, and you can't go below 1 fan. Wolverines cannot catch a break. Let's see. Wealth. The winning team receives 21 wealth. Opposition also receives 3 additional wealth because of sponsors. The Wolverines will receive 11 wealth for participating and losing this match. All right, let's update some spreadsheets. Starting with the Wolverines. Now, 0 wins and 7 losses, and looking something like the laughingstock of the league. Match earnings 11 +1 from their fans. Yeah, that's all I got to update right this second. For the opposition, now 3 wins and 4 losses with a cumulative total of 25 points. It's weird that they were only at 15. They did not gain any fans. They do have a super secret scroll roll modifier of a +3. Which actually I'm going to make that roll right now since nobody can actually see it. Let's see. They gain 21 wealth from their match winnings. They gain 7 more from their fans, and they gain their 3 additional from winning the match sponsorships. And that is that. Draft. Let's look at the draft. Neither team is going to rack up terribly huge modifiers for the draft, but let's take a look and see what happens. Starting with the opposition. They will have a 2d6 plus 1 for winning. They have no streaks and therefore no other modifiers presently. So 2d6 plus 1 for a total of 10. They are going to be losing somebody, I think. Let's go ahead and get that resolved. Starting with the pilots, they are looking at 1 pilot and 1 tech. Starting with their tier 2 pilots, I need to minimize this a little bit. Not really what I wanted, but it's really not either. 1 second, I gotta resize this a little bit. My second monitor is not very big, so I gotta work with what I got. And it's a lot easier if I could see everybody. All right, go ahead and get this 1d6 copied and pasted. All right, first pilot up, Hun Civic. On a 2 or less, he is gone. Safe. Golema, 2 or less. Gone. Bring this around. So like Golema was drafted. Alright, let's go ahead and find their replacement. Experience level. 1, 2, 3. That is a regular with 5 experience points. Go ahead and add that in here. It's regular. Oh, why did it? Okay, that works. That works. New pilot. Regular. Gunnery 4. Piloting 5. 2 edge. 0 tactics. And 5 experience points. Alright. Alright. Now for their technicians. Starting with their tier 3. Let's see. Umura, 3 or less. Safe. Munslow, 3 or less. Gone. Henry Munslow, gone. Moving on to bigger and better. Oh, that was their natural aptitude tech, too. Son of a bitch. My short-term memory is not good enough to remember their name. All right, now we can delete them. Alright, and now we do experience level, green, 4 points. Insert here. This and this. Alright, new tech. Green. That's not how green is spelled. 2 edge, 4 experience points. 0. Alright. Pretty sure I won't have to actually do anything for the Wolverines, but we do have to roll just for, simplicity or clarity, whatever there's a word, I can't think of it. Accuracy, thoroughness, whatever. 2d6, they are looking at another -1 for losing, and a -2 because they are on more than a 3-game losing streak for a total of -3. So 2d6 -3, rolled a 6, taking them down to a 3. Nobody wants the Wolverines on their team. That's just the long and short of it. All right. Next up, we have expenses, starting with maintenance. Let's take a look at the Wolverines' maintenance. They have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mechs with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They actually have 6 techs, but let's see. So 3 went to the field. 1 is already crippled, and therefore the repairs were paid for previously. So that is maintenance cost of 1. Let's For the opposition, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually had another Warhammer in here. I don't know why it's not listed, but put it like that. And they have enough text, so it's maintained. I gotta update this apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with enough text. That is -2 for maintenance. For them with the 3 that went to the field. Next up is salaries. Starting with the opposition. 2 for all the greens and regulars. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why that is 0. 7, 8. -8 for them. Now we go to the Wolverines. 2 for all the greens and regulars. 3, 4, and 5. And next we got to add up some repair costs. Starting with the opposition, they've got a busted up couple of mechs. They're all actually at heavy damage or less, so that's okay. Alright, heavy mech, heavy damage is going to be 6 to repair it. Medium mech at moderate damage is 3. And a medium mech at heavy damage is 4. For a total of 13 wealth to repair, and 0 medical. For the Wolverines, 1 heavily damaged heavy is, I think it's 6 from memory. It is. A crippled heavy is 8. And a crippled light is 4. So that is -18 for repair and -1 for medical for the 1 pilot that was injured, but they will be back next week. Let me go ahead and add that in. Starting with the Wolverines. And they are not going to be able to repair everything. They only have 14 wealth at the moment. They're going to have to get rid of that crippled Warhammer. Let's do this the right way. So this Warhammer... Oh, I got my rosters confused when I typed in that Warhammer a second ago. This Warhammer's not actually here. Which means they actually do only have 4 mechs. It's still -1. Nope, it would be only -1. Okay. Alright, we got that fixed. Alright. This one is crippled. They're not going to repair it just yet. Repairs not paid. Okay. Let's see. I gotta add the numbers in though. Alright, so that will only take it down to a -10 in their repair bill and a -1 for medical. Doesn't leave them with a whole lot of money. Let's go to the opposition. Opposition paying 13 wealth in repairs, 0 in medical. They have 24 wealth remaining. Time for some repair rolls. I'm going to double check my notes, make sure I'm not skipping any steps. I have not. We're going to do the opposition's repair rolls first. To repair their Warhammer, I needed 3 or better, but I get 2 dice, I believe. Let me double check that. Natural aptitude tech on the individual that was just hired away. This is their last week. Others, natural aptitude tech. For attack with NA tech, roll 2d6 and use the higher of the 2 dice rolled to determine repair results. So, this one's actually going to be 2d6. Yep, 2d6. I take the better. I need a 3 or better. Rolled a 3 and a 2, so that mech is repaired. For the Hunchback, I need another 3 with 4 attempts, or excuse me, 5 attempts. 1, 2, got it. And the Phoenix Hawk needs a 4 with 3 attempts. Got it on the first try. Alright, so all of the opposition mechs are repaired. Now for the Wolverines. To repair the 1 Warhammer they are working on, I need a 4 or better with 3 attempts. 1, 2, got it. And the Jenner need a 5 with 3 attempts. Got it on the first try, luckily. And they have an awesome 8R from a previous week that needs repairs. I need a 3 or better. I'm sorry, 3 attempts, 4 or better. 1, 2, 3, got it, finally. So that awesome can be marked as repaired. There we go. Okay. And the last step is updating experience points for everybody that is still around, starting with the Wolverines. Kumar gets 1 point, taking them up to a 6. Man gets 1 point, taking them up to 12. And Amot gets 1 point up to 9 for their attacks. What are we looking at here? Dobrev gets 1 to 16. Harlan gets 1. A little too far. 13. And then Whitfield gets 1 to 13 as well. That will take care of the Wolverines. For the opposition, pilots. Let's see. Neil gains a total of 3 points, up to 11 now. Noble gains 3 points as well, up to 14. And Sevic gets 2, up to 5. For their techs, the ones that remain, Munslow is the one that was just drafted. Umura gets 2, up to 13. And Papin, or Papine, I don't know how you would say that, up to 15. That takes care of that. All right. Well, I'm sure that last bit was invigorating to watch. Pull up my OBS here. That will conclude the first match of the 2. Once again, final score 10-1. Opposition defeating the no-win having Rock City Wolverines. We're going to take a brief respite, and when we return, we will be doing our second match of the night, the Cyan Spirits taking on the American Industrialists, and I will be playing as the Cyan Spirits, trying desperately to win, but crying internally because I want the Industrialists to keep winning so they can stay on top. Stick around, my friends. We'll be back in just a few minutes.